Well, hello everyone. Tyler Ford here, Tucson, Arizona with eXp Realty, and welcome to my monthly Tucson home inventory market update for March 2023, where each and every month we dive on into the MLS and we're tracking home inventory. And in my opinion, tracking inventory supply and demand is the closest thing to a crystal ball. It's, in my opinion, the leading indicator. And as things start to shift, home inventory levels going up, down, or sideways will give you a good indication as to what's going on in the housing market and what home prices are going to be doing. So what we're going to do is we dive into the MLS. I've been tracking it on an Excel spreadsheet to show you what's going on. But home inventory levels have gone down slightly. Therefore, home values are holding strong. And for February 2023, home prices, the median home price actually went up slightly. So I know that's not good news for buyers, but for sellers out there, the housing market is holding on and home values are holding. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. First off, we're going to dive into a little bit of housekeeping and going to show you what interest rates are doing and then inventory levels on a national level. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so first off, I just want to talk a little bit about interest rates. Yesterday was the FOMC meeting. The Feds did raise 0.25%, but that 0.25%, it's a little deceptive from a mortgage standpoint because it's not a direct correlation to what interest rates are doing in terms of mortgage interest rates. But right now, on a 30-year fixed, we're sitting at 6.6%. On a 15-year fixed, we're sitting at 5.9%. We're off from the highs of about 7%. So we had a pullback of about a full percent down to about 6%. And now we're kind of in the middle of that range at about 6.6% for interest rates. But we'll see yesterday what that impact has on mortgage rates. So they're still hawkish and trying to curb inflation. And as a result of curbing inflation, interest rates are the tool that the Feds are using in order to slow down this economy. The other thing to consider too is, locally here in Tucson, home inventory has been going down. It went up and now it's been going down. But more importantly, it's also good to look at the national level in terms of what's going on from an inventory standpoint across the country. And so right now we're at about 980,000 active listings in the MLS. This was the same as last month. The data that I get, they don't update it each and every month. So we're at about 980 across the country, which is really, really low. In the meltdown of 07, 08, home inventory levels were at about 4 million listings across the country. And so in order to get back to an equilibrium supply and demand, home inventory levels would need to almost double across the country in order to get back to a normal supply and demand from a home inventory standpoint. So again, just wanted to show this nationally so you could see what's going on. And now what I want to do is we're going to dive into the MLS. And we're going to look at home inventory here in Tucson. Then I'm going to plug it into an Excel spreadsheet to give you a visual of what's going on here locally in the Tucson housing market. So I've got the MLS pulled up. And as you can see, we've got Tucson here and then single family homes right now listed in the MLS. Hopefully it doesn't freeze on me. Spinning right here. Okay, so go back to single family homes. So right now listed in the MLS for single family homes, we have 1,067 active listings in the MLS. For townhomes, there are currently 83 active listings, which you can see right there. For manufactured homes, we have 50 manufactured homes. And then for condominiums, there are currently 87. So with that, I'm going to jump over. I'm going to pull up an Excel spreadsheet and we will plug in some numbers. So for single family homes, there were 1,067. I did this morning. It changed by a little bit. Manufactured homes 50, still the same. Condos 87 and 83. So from month to month, home inventory levels decreased by 138 units in Tucson. So a year-to-date change, we're down 32% year-to-date in terms of home inventory. And from month to month, we're down 11%. And the total change since I first started doing this, and this next slide will give you a good visual of what's happened. We're down about, or we're up about 40%. So now if I jump on over to the chart here, here's a pretty good visual. And, Tucson, there is some seasonality to Tucson. Hold on, it did not switch over. Hold on real quick. It didn't switch. Just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So I plugged in the numbers here and my screen, they made some changes here and it doesn't switch over. So this is the Excel spreadsheet. I plugged in the numbers and we're down 138 units month to month. And the total changes here, 32% down and month over month, about 11% decrease. But here's the big takeaway, the big visual here. When I first started doing this, I sensed that the market was starting to shift. The top end of this market was last year, May, June of 2022. And home inventory levels started to go up. But again, Tucson has some seasonality to it where through the winter, spring, and into the summer, home inventory levels go down. June, July, August, September, we usually have an increase of home inventory just because less demand, less winter visitors. It's hot in Tucson. And then home inventory levels start to rise and then typically draw down during the winter and spring months, which is the busier home buying season here in Tucson. So this is a good visual of kind of what's gone on. But you can see over the last 4 months, home inventory levels have pulled back and actually gone down from the height of the home inventory levels. The other thing to look at, so month over month, the median home sales price actually increased. So in February, so we were at 359,900, and the numbers just came out for the median home sales price for February, which I did my update in March, which I'll show you where to get. We were at 368,000. So median home sales price increased slightly, which is kind of a big surprise to people because I know there's a lot of people thinking this market is going to pull back. But again, this is why I do the home inventory and track it, because unless we see a huge surge in home inventory level, just from a supply and demand standpoint, home values are going to go sideways and maintain a little bit of stability unless we see a big surge in home inventory. And then here is a chart of home values in Tucson. And you can see we topped out here. This was like May, June of last year, which is where we topped out in terms of the top end of our market, in my opinion. Where are we going to get back to that? I highly doubt it. But again, we're going to go sideways. I do think there's some risk on the downside. But again, this is why I do what I do in terms of home inventory, just to be able to track what's going on to give you a good visual. So the next thing I want to show you is that if you're one to want to geek out on the numbers, let me switch this back over. Sorry, real quick, hold on. So if you're one to want to geek out on the numbers, I would encourage you to head on over to Tucson Homes and Lots. And if you go to my homepage here and you scroll down, there's going to be a link that says the Tucson monthly market. You got each and every month, I go over the home market report that TAR, the Tucson Association of Realtors, puts out. And then at the very bottom of blog post and the video I do, if you click on this link right here, it's going to pull up the PDF that's going to be the detailed report. So if you really want to dive into the numbers and really see what's going on, I would encourage you to check that out. So let me remove this. And if there's any questions or comments, I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I love to take any questions or comments. I like to keep it short and to the point. But again, this video is all about staying on top of home inventory levels, in my opinion, leading indicator. And again, if there's any questions, I had to change the time because I had a conflict. So I had it scheduled, had to change the time. So there's probably not as many people on this live as would have been just because I did change the time. But if there's anybody out there that's got any questions or comments, love to ask. In the meantime, let me switch over here. In the meantime, watching this on YouTube after the live, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to get your comments on what's going on in the housing market. And for more videos, you can always subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button, and each and every time a video comes out, you're notified. So I'm going to call it a wrap. There's no questions or comments. So make it a great day. And again, if you've got any questions or comments, my team, myself would love to help. So have a great weekend and make it a great day.